welcome back to my channel. If you are watching for the first time, my name is Kaja. I live in Paris right now, but I used to live in Shanghai. I actually recently moved from Shanghai to Paris, and it was already my second time around living in Shanghai. I made a ton of content in Shanghai, made tons of videos about Shanghai, and if you've ever seen any of my Shanghai videos before, you probably know that, but I freaking love Shanghai. I think Shanghai is one of the best, if not the best city on this earth, and I just feel like everyone should visit Shanghai because it's so great. So today I decided to make a video about my favorite city and tell you the 10 top places that you absolutely have to visit and have to see if you're visiting Shanghai. So let's get into the video. Number 1, the Bund. The Bund, obviously the Bund. Bund is probably the most touristy spot in Shanghai. However, I am not surprised because Bund is freaking amazing. Bund is basically a promenade located by Huangpu River, and it's a place where you can see and where you can admire the amazing skyline of Shanghai. Shanghai has a very unique, very modern, and very cool and futuristic skyline. A little tip is that don't be afraid if you enter the Bund and you just see crowds everywhere. Just go a little bit left or right, just walk for 5 to 10 minutes and it will get much better. So most people do the mistake of entering the Bund and just like standing or staying where everyone is standing. I don't know, like I guess people are just so amazed by seeing the Bund for the first time that they can't move or something. But yeah, just go a little bit left or go a little bit right. There will be more space for you to get your I've been to Shanghai shots and just admire the beautiful view. Number 2, Yuyuan Garden and Yuyuan Market. So Yuyuan Garden and Yuyuan Market are basically the old Shanghai. The market is a place where you can just shop, get souvenirs, get some food, even though it's really touristy, so I wouldn't recommend you to get food, but it's definitely a must to see. It's a very cool place. It can get very crowded though, so go early in the morning. Entering Yuyuan Market is free, but if you want to enter the gardens, you have to pay, you have to get a ticket. I would still very highly recommend it because for some reason a lot of people just stay at the market and they never go inside of the garden. So Yuyuan Garden is a traditional Chinese garden built in 16th century during Ming Dynasty. I think it's a very beautiful place and it's not as crowded as the market because you have to get the ticket. Number 3, NANSHE, the actual old town of Shanghai. So a lot of people make the mistake of just going to Yuyuan Market and the garden and just leaving. I don't know where they go, they leave. But what you definitely have to do if you're in the area is go outside of the market and just take a walk around Nanshi, which is like the actual old town of Shanghai. It's where people actually live. A sad thing about Shanghai is obviously the city is developing so much, and Nanshi is an area right in the center of Shanghai. So the sad thing is that we never know how long it's gonna be there. This area is probably worth so much money, so we never know if one day they'll just get rid of it and build like new buildings there. So I do think it's a must to go and explore this part of the town before it might be gone. Oh, and did I say it's a great place to get some street food? It's a great place to get street food. There are a lot of street food stands and these small local restaurants, and the food will definitely be much cheaper than inside of U Market. So it's also a great place for lunch if you're getting hungry. Take a walk down Nanjing East Road. Nanjing East Road is the pedestrian slash shopping street of Shanghai. It's one of my personal favorites. I think it's such a cool place. I love the visual aspect of it. I love the crazy signs, the light, neons. You definitely have to make sure to see it by night as well, when all the lights and the signs light up, because I think it's just a beautiful view. There's so many crazy weird ass buildings around, like Graden with this like spaceship on top and this other building that looks like an insect. Cool place, for sure, cool place. So if you're already at Nanjing East, you should also make sure to visit Nanjing West. So Nanjing Road is very long, and basically I would say that Nanjing East is more of a place just to see, and Nanjing West is a place where you can actually shop. There are a lot of good shops around and restaurants. It's more local, it's more where people who live in Shanghai would actually go. Nanjing East is more touristy, but it looks cool, you know. People's Square Park. I've said it before and I will say it again. I think if you're coming to Shanghai, seeing at least one Shanghainese park is a must. I think visiting a park in Shanghai is just a really good way to take a break from a busy city, and Shanghai is a very busy city, very crowded city. So having a little break at the park is always a great idea. And the parks in China are really cool because it's just a place where people go to hang out. There's so many people like playing chess and singing and doing tai chi and dancing and doing all kinds of weird stuff sometimes. So I feel like it's also a great place to just like sit and people watch and like learn more about Chinese culture and see like the daily life in Shanghai. And if you are there on a Sunday, that's also when a very famous thing in Shanghai is happening, marriage market. So marriage market is basically a day when Chinese parents or grandparents come to a park and they try to find a husband or a wife for their children who are too busy working to date, or maybe they do date but their parents don't approve, like whatever. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to see. Jing'an Temple. Jing'an Temple is one of the most beautiful temples in Shanghai. And yes, I know some of you told me that I cannot pronounce this name for some reason. I tried my best. Okay, you can write in the comment section down below how bad I'm pronouncing this name. But if you are a tourist coming to Shanghai and you also don't know how to pronounce this name, don't worry. If you say Jing'an, everyone will know what you're talking about. So basically, Jing'an Temple is a Buddhist temple. It was originally built by Suzhou Creek, and then in 1216 it was moved to the current location in Jing'an area. I think the coolest thing about the temple, besides the fact that the temple itself is very beautiful, the statue of Jade Buddha is super cool. The coolest thing is the contrast between the new and the old. So Jing'an Temple is located in a very modern, like very cool, trendy district. And when you're in the temple, it's like a really nice view that you see the old architecture, the old temple, and then in the background you have all these modern, shiny skyscrapers. It creates like a really cool contrast and a really cool atmosphere. I think that's like exactly what Shanghai is about. This city is such a cool mix of old and new. Xintiandi. So Xintiandi is basically reconstruction of traditional Shanghainese houses from 19th century. It's architectural style that combines elements of Western and Chinese architecture. So it's definitely a really cool place to see. It's basically a place where both tourists and locals hang out. It's a place with tons of great restaurants, bars, coffee shops. Tianzifang. Tianzifang is again example of traditional Shanghainese architecture. It's a very cool little area with very narrow streets. It's full of bars, restaurants, galleries, cute little shops. However, since the place is quite small and the streets are super narrow, I would highly recommend you to try to skip weekends and skip like busy times around afternoon where a lot of people come there to eat and just hang out. Go in the morning if you can. And also, if you have some time, make sure to just walk around the area in general. So Tianzifang is located in French Concession, and French Concession used to be the old European neighborhood in Shanghai from back in the days before the First World War, when a lot of Europeans would actually live in Shanghai. And finally, go on top of the Shanghai Tower. So Shanghai Tower is not only the tallest building in Shanghai, it's also the second tallest building in the entire world. Shanghai Tower has 128 floors and it's about 600 meters high, and I would highly recommend you to go on top of Shanghai Tower before the sunset so you can see the view both by day and by night. It's definitely a really cool experience and something that you cannot miss if you're visiting Shanghai. And also, Shanghai Tower is located in Lujiazui, which is the most modern and like futuristic district of Shanghai. It's definitely a super cool place to see. So if you have some time after seeing the Shanghai Tower, just walk around the area. It's a really nice place for sure. I hope this video was helpful for those of you that are planning a trip to Shanghai. If you have any questions, just please let me know in the comments. I would love to help out if I can. I hope you will love Shanghai as much as I do, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.